You are about to find out what makes each of the social media platforms tick so you can improve your reach, engagement and performance. Hi, I'm Katie Richards and I'm a social media strategist from Bloom Connected. So in honor of Valentine's Day, I'm giving you the inside scoop into what each of the social media channels love. I'm not here to talk about the scary word algorithm. This is just about the key tips that will help you win over the hearts of the social media platforms. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you know when a new video is uploaded that's going to help your social media bloom. Facebook. What you're going to discover with most of these social media platforms is that they can be a bit needy. And Facebook is a prime example of this. Facebook wants to know that you care about them, that you enjoy interacting with them, and that your interactions are genuine. Facebook doesn't want any fake feelings. Essentially, to do well on Facebook, you have to prove that you are providing value to your users, proving that your followers want to see your content and it's relevant to them. If you post content that people enjoy and they interact with and they share it with their friends, Facebook will be more and more likely to share your content more consistently to more people. And therefore, your engagement and reach theoretically should grow. But Facebook doesn't like engagement bait. They don't want to see fake interactions. So for example, when you see posts that are like this if you can speak English, or tag someone who hates pineapple on pizza. You may have been doing this and you may think, I don't know what's wrong with this, especially if you're doing it on other social platforms and it's kind of more acceptable on other platforms, and you feel like you're doing a call to action because you're asking people to do something. But the issue with these posts is that you're literally just asking for the engagements. You aren't providing any value to your users. They're not getting anything back for interacting with your post, really. You're all take, but never give, as Bruno Mars would say. So we've learned that Facebook is a bit insecure and has some trust issues these days. So what can you do to win over our favorite blue F? Number 1, post at the right time. Don't post your stuff in the middle of the night unless you are targeting, night shift workers. Take a look at when your posts perform best and work around those times for maximum engagement. If you don't have any times to go off, then the general good time for posting is late morning, like 11s to early afternoon. So it's people either checking in on their break or at their lunchtime. But then once you've been doing that for a while, make sure you go back in to see when your posts are performing best for you and work around that. Number 2, user-generated content. User-generated content. I talk about this all the time because it's so important. If you post content created by your users, you are showing you have real fans. It builds authenticity, trust, loyalty, and also means you aren't even making the content, so you have extra free time. Fans want to know that you care about them, and they get a bit of a buzz from seeing their content on your account. As you can imagine, that content is going to be way more shareable and will increase engagement. Another thing you can do is connect to real world events, so kind of like newsjacking, but that word is kind of gross, I don't know. Any news pieces or pop culture stuff that is somehow relevant to your business, then it's great to get on board with that and do some kind of content about it, because again, as you can imagine, pop culture that your fans are into is going to be so shareable. So as an example, if you are related to baking or food, then when Great British Bake Off is on, it's a really good idea to do some kind of content related to that. Whereas if you sell bookmarks, you might not. I mean, you might. It's all about creativity, isn't it? But you get the idea. You can also share statistics, facts, thought pieces, and that sort of stuff can be really shareable, especially again if it's relevant to your audience or it's like groundbreaking information. Memes do well on Facebook. Just funny content. It's shareable. I don't know about you, but that's kind of the majority of what I see on Facebook these days. And if it's relevant to your business and your brand, then sprinkle a little bit of funny stuff in there. And you might think, how is that providing value to my customers? Well, it's making them laugh. And who doesn't want to laugh except like the Queen or Harrison Ford? 3, focus on good content. Facebook wants you to scrub up well. In fact, you're gonna find that nearly all the platforms do. I'm sorry, but these days it's all about the aesthetic. Facebook wants to show users good looking stuff. They don't want people to have ugly feeds. So as much as you can, take good photos, good high quality photos, use good stock images. Not the cringe ones, good ones. Make branded infographics. Just make sure as best you can that the visuals are good quality and something that you would be happy to see. The fourth and final tip for Facebook is to engage. You want people to engage with your content, then you need to engage back. If people comment, you respond. When Facebook sees this, it can see a back and forth conversation between you and your audience. So it sees that the relationship is deeper than just follower to a page. And so then because of that, Facebook is more likely to show your content. And for the user that you're interacting with, it builds authority for them because they can see that you're a genuine person talking to them. But basically don't overthink it. Just be genuine about wanting to interact with people, because the more genuine you are about wanting to reply to your customers, the more genuine Facebook will see that you are. So be genuine. So to summarize, Facebook wants a real, authentic social butterfly that cares about their audience and their visual aesthetic. Instagram. I did tell you that these folks were needy, didn't I? And just like Facebook, Instagram is possibly even more needy. This shouldn't really come as a surprise because you know that Instagram is owned by Facebook, so it makes sense that they have the same morals about how you should be interacting on social media. And actually, everything I said for Facebook is relevant for Instagram. So post at the best time, focus on the fans, focus on your visual content, and engage with your audience. Visual content and engagement are big ones for Instagram. With the Instagram feed, when you can view it from someone's profile, you can see that there is so much more opportunity to play around with the aesthetic and the visuals and give your brand image across to the user even more than with Facebook. Engagement is huge on Instagram. You need to reply to comments, you need to find other people in your industry and comment on their posts. And again, it's all important to be genuine. If you get caught up in, okay, I need to comment on as many people's posts as possible, you're gonna start writing random stuff like, oh, good job, yeah. Whereas if you, again, try to be authentic and think, I genuinely wanna build my connections and meet other people online, then you're gonna embrace their posts more and post more relevant, useful comments back to them, because that is a person behind the screen as well. You know, it's not an automated robot posting those things and commenting back. So, you know, you wouldn't want a generic comment, would you? So, you know, give and take, give and take. On Instagram, you want to use hashtags. I didn't mention this on Facebook because you can use hashtags, but don't. Just don't. Unless you have a very good reason to. Instagram, on the other hand, you can use hashtags to effectively reach brand new audiences. As long as you have highly relevant hashtags related to your industry and your business and a few branded ones, go for it. So overall, Instagram is looking for exactly the same type of person as Facebook, but there is even more emphasis on visuals, engagement, and hashtags. Go for the hashtags. Pinterest. Pinterest is a dreamer. In fact, it's not actually a social channel, really. You could even say Pinterest is an introvert. Pinterest isn't about showing off how much fun you're having on that dream trip to Bali. It's about planning that dream trip to Bali. You plan and you pin things that represent a particular vibe that you want a particular life experience to have. God, I love Pinterest so much. And believe it or not, even more so than Instagram, Pinterest is the most highly visual of them all. It is literally an image search platform. Like, that is what you do. If you can create anything to do with planning, aspirations, goals, dreaming, then Pinterest will work for you if you have highly visual, good quality content. As with all the other channels, post at the right time. Be consistent with your content, provide value, work on creating boards that have at least 40 pins in them. And actually, Pinterest recommend that you have a mix of your own content and other people's content on Pinterest. So have a look around and find things that match the vibe that you're going for and matches your content and is beneficial to your user. And then this shows Pinterest what kind of content you want your pins to be related to on Pinterest. So Pinterest is the artsy, introverted dreamer, always planning their next adventure, focusing on them, but also supporting others. I love Pinterest. LinkedIn, the professional homie. You run a B2B business? You already know where you are. You're on LinkedIn. LinkedIn, similarly to the rest, is about providing valuable content. But here's the thing, you can let go with the whole visual thing. I mean, it's obviously encouraged to have high quality visual content everywhere, but LinkedIn is more about the actual information you're giving them. So here we're thinking about the professional side of your business and things related to your industry. News statistics, white papers, giving tips to help people progress through the particular industry that you're in. LinkedIn also doesn't need as much attention as the other platforms. Make sure you post during the work week, either once or twice a week. That's all it needs. Ignore the weekend, obviously, and also ignore Mondays and Fridays, because on Mondays, people are kind of getting into the work week, and on Fridays, people are winding down. So engagement is actually lower on these days, and it's better to go for Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. As with all the platforms, if people interact with you, make sure you interact back to show a genuine connection. LinkedIn, always the best dressed one, always looking to progress their career, always staying one step ahead with industry news and insights. Don't contact them at the weekend because they don't give two hoots. New to the dating scene, no wait, that's not right. New to the social media scene is TikTok. Youthful, bubbly, a total Gen Z, here to make you feel old AF. Nobody has exactly figured out what makes TikTok tick, but we do know what performs well. And you can also take guesses from other platforms that have a similar feature, like Facebook and Instagram stories. So first of all, the good news, TikTok doesn't care if you don't have a high-tech camera. Your smartphone is fine. Why? Because that's what they want you to record on, and that's what people are viewing it on. So if you are stresso about the high visual standard of the other platforms, then maybe consider TikTok, where you can really let the reins go and have more creative freedom without the restraint of creating high quality photos and videos. One of the key things with TikTok is just to experiment. Experiment with different kinds of content, and once you see what performs well for you, then you can focus on that content until eventually you have a strategy that your audience is familiar with. I've also been informed by a Gen Z TikTok participant, aka my younger sister, that hashtags actually don't really work on TikTok. That's not really how people find new content. They find new content through adding songs to their videos and making videos, kind of about the songs, thinking like Vine kind of style. And then you can click onto the songs and see other people that have made videos from that song. Using songs is actually more effective than using hashtags on TikTok, apparently. But as I said, it's still very fresh. People are still working it out. I mean, it's the same with all the platforms. They're always growing, but in particular with TikTok, we are very much in the experimentation phase. So TikTok, the youngest of the bunch, still in their experimenting phase, so don't be afraid to push the boat out and find out what works for you. Once you know what works, stay consistent. So that concludes what each of the social media channels love and what they're looking for from you. I really hope that helped, and now I would love to know what you love about each of the social media channels, or what you would love to see from one of the channels. Let's flip the tables, kiddos. Please don't forget to like and subscribe because it really supports the growth of the channel. And until next time, keep blooming.